morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. This video is a little different. We are going Z hunting. If you watched my last video, you know that my 1990 300ZX NA, the 2+0, it got totaled. I was on my way to work and I had gotten T-boned and insurance got involved and the car had gotten totaled. I had gotten T-boned on the way to work. Insurance looked at the damages, the adjuster, all that. They went ahead and totaled my 1990 300ZX, the NA. Very sad day. Kind of, you know, heartbroken and whatnot. A lot of memories with this car. So, just the last few days I've been hunting for a new 300ZX. Just because I'm not going to give up on the build. Just going to find another body, another suitor, if that makes sense. For the vision that I have for my daily, if that makes sense. So just been scouring the marketplace, you know, the 300ZX forums and Facebook pages and all that. A lot of people have been hitting me up on IG what they have for sale. A lot of great cars out there. Prices are kind of crazy right now, but really what I wanted was very clean body, clean interior, and a clean title. This is a big problem right now. A lot of nice priced cars out there, and then the title will be like a rebuilt title, salvage title. I wasn't wanting to deal with that, you know, trying to get it insured, insuring like a rebuilt title and all that. Plus down the line, if anything were to happen, if I needed to sell it, I didn't want to run into issues where I invested XYZ money and then I couldn't get anything out of it because, you know, the buyer's like, oh, it's totaled, this and that. So I was really just looking for a clean body, clean interior, clean title car, whether it was TT, NA, or other swap. One of the biggest problems I was having was prices. You know, I was looking at these very nice TT builds and they were immaculate, but the prices were they were getting out of my range that I was comfortable spending. And, you know, I was about to pull the trigger on like this, you know, 20 something grand Z32, beautiful car, immaculate. And my fiance was like, you already have you know, a twin turbo build 300ZX, beautiful, you know, wide body, all that. And she's like, why are you trying to spend so much for another one like that? She's like, honestly, what you need is a daily. That's what the Blue Z was, and that's what you initially started looking for, was a daily. So I was like, you're right, I need to gather myself again and really figure out what it is I'm looking for. So one of my followers, he hit me up and he was like, hey man, I have this 1990 300ZX, 68,000 miles, fresh paint job, body was immaculate, interior is really nice, very low mileage, clean title, good price. So we're flying over there to New Jersey to go see the car. He's in New York. I got family picking us up from the airport, and hopefully the Z is everything we're looking for. We buy it and then drive back down to Florida. That was a very sad day. You ready for our trip? Sorry. Damn. A lot of memories.
Yeah. Taught me how to drive manual in that car.
Yeah, this car helped us with our, you know, starting our relationship back in the day.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't.
She used the car to get to me.
No, it didn't.
She's like, you could teach me how to drive manual. Damn. Very sad. car probably won't even be here when I get back. I already signed the title over to the insurance company, and I guess they sold it to Copart. So Copart's gonna come pick up the car. They haven't even called me to schedule the pickup, but they said if I'm not gonna be in the area, that they need to be able to take it. So I left the driveway open for them.
Hi.
Hopefully we can find our next Z together, right?
Yeah.
She's tired of me looking and stressing her out. There's Pedro, our Uber, I think.
Yep.
All right, here we go. New Jersey, here we come. Made it home, made it to my mom's house. About to take my brother's Volkswagen over to meet the owner of the Z that we're looking at buying. Yo.
Oh, horrible.
No, you don't. Let's see a smile. What a smile, bro. You want to tell him an update?
We are in Queens, looking at the car.
So we made it to the car's location, but we're waiting for the owner to show up. We kind of got here before he did. But I can see the Z. Hold on. There she blows. And she looks amazing. I don't want to go up there yet, though, because I feel like that would be rude. Because it's the owner's home, and I don't want to just be in his driveway checking out a car that I haven't purchased yet. So I'm going to wait till he gets here. But from what I can see, it looks really good. So a few more minutes, he'll be here. All right, so we're back. I'm back home, back in Florida, from looking at that 300ZX. I'm gonna go ahead and say I didn't end up buying the car, which was just a huge waste of time and money. So still on the hunt. Now I went over there to look at the car. It was in New York City. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I have family in New Jersey. My mother and my brother still live over there, my dad. So I hit them up, say, hey, come to look at a car in New York. I'm gonna fly in. All right, so I bought tickets. Me and my lady flew into Jersey. Mom picked me up. Borrowed my brother's car, his little Volkswagen, while he was at work. Went over to New York to go look at this car. So now the reason why I went to go look at this car, this was a 1990 300ZX 2+2. It was an NA, very low mileage, very low. We're talking like sub 60,000 miles for a 90. It was really good mileage. My black TT, when I originally bought it, it had like 65,000 miles on it. So very low mileage Z, less chance of having anything really wrong with it. So that's why I was really going for it. Plus it was a fresh paint job, has some goodies here and there, the exterior, some Twin Z parts, Twin Z design rear bumper, all this stuff, J-spec front. So I was looking forward to the car. I was gonna buy it. The plan was to fly up there, look at the car. I had money in hand, buy it, drive it back to Florida because low mileage Z with no problems. I should be able to drive it back to Florida, no issue. It's 900 miles, not a big deal. So let me go over why I didn't buy the car. Everything that I saw that was wrong with it. That's just what I saw in like the 30 minutes I had with the car. I mean, I could have spent more time with the car, but I had already made up my mind that I wasn't getting it. So there was no point in me, delving deeper into the car, the condition or whatever. The guy's price for the car, I'm not going to mention the guy, not going to mention his name or anything. There's no hard feelings and whatever. So I don't want to be blasting him or anything. So this is not about that. This is just letting you guys know why I didn't get this car. Okay, first thing, we get out the car, he meets us, we arrive, we go look at the car. As soon as you walk up, first thing you see is there's this big gash, if you could call it that, on the rear hatch. Now, I say gash because then you could get an image in your head of what it actually looked like, but it didn't actually look like something scratched it. It didn't look abrasive. It didn't have like paint chips or like what a scratch would look like. But there was a separation in the paint, and it, I don't want to say spider webbed, but it was like a gash. It was maybe like 4 inches long, and it looked like the paint separated from itself. Which, I'm not a painter. I don't really know what's going on there. So, unknown cause of why that would happen. Now, the owner was saying this car is freshly painted, and he's got photos to prove that it was freshly painted. But as soon as he got it back from the paint shop, he put the car in his garage, hasn't touched it since. So with me arriving, he had the car sitting in the driveway just outside, make it easier. So it was sitting in the sun. It was like 90 degrees outside. It was pretty hot. It was just baking in the sun. I don't know if the sun and the heat made the paint separate, because there was no like actual scratch there. But then that makes me worry about the quality of the paint job he got. The paint of the car looked really good everywhere else, except where that separation was at. So, maybe that happens on other parts of the car. That'd be bad. So maybe it was the heat. I don't know. I was just worried about the whole paint on the brand new paint job be doing the same thing. So that was already on my mind. Then he had like a Twin Z Type 2 rear spoiler, great spoiler. He had it mounted onto the hatch, and it was coming up on the sides, both sides. It was coming up, and one on the driver's side, it was coming up really bad. Like it was maybe up off the hatch like 3-4 inches in the air. Definitely would have caught the air driving back, and could have been, could have cracked or whatnot, because they are fiberglass. And on the passenger side, it was lifting up, but just a little bit. Underneath that lifting up, you could see that they used some sort of like automotive adhesive. It was black, but it had already hardened, so it wasn't like sticky where you could kind of like hold it down and it'll like retake. No, it was already hardened, so it lifting up like that, it was a done deal. The whole thing needed to come off and be redone. With the type of automotive adhesive they used to put that on, it'd probably be a hard time taking that spoiler off without breaking the rest of it that did adhere properly to the car. Maybe you could do a patch fix on the sides of it, like adding more of it on the sides and pressing it down. Maybe it'll stay. I don't know, but that was there. So gash on the rear hatch, and then the spoiler was coming up on both the sides. Okay. Kept looking around the car, walk up to the front, J-spec front bumper. That looked fine. Not my favorite bumper, I'll say that, but if I would have bought the car, I would have had my own bumper going on there, and then that's a J-spec bumper I got so I could sell. It's a little bit more cash back in my pocket. That's fine with me. So that was a plus. His front headlights. One of them had a carbon fiber Ionic Dynamics bezel in there, which is great. That's a great add-on, especially because he had the carbon fiber one, but then the other one was missing. He had it in the garage, but it wasn't on the actual headlight. So that means I'd have to take the headlight apart, put it on. No big deal. But I'm just mentioning things now. I don't want you guys to think I'm being petty. I'm just mentioning things that I saw. Right? Here's the part that really, not really got me, but just, I don't know, I wasn't feeling right about it. So one of the big selling points of the car, other than being low mileage, fresh paint job, was that he had carbon fiber bits throughout the car, all over the car, right? So I already spoke about the headlight bezel, but he had the other one, no big deal. The other bits he had on the car was the windshield cowl, you know, on the outside where the wipers are at. He had that whole cowl, carbon fiber. When you open the doors where the seatbelt's at, that pillar, both of those carbon fiber. Okay, great. The entire center console was a double din center console, all in carbon fiber. And then he had the shifter area where the shift boot's at and all that. That was all carbon fiber. They were all faded. Like, they were faded to the point where you would have to get that clear coat removed and then have them re-clear coated. Now, I don't know how much that costs, but that's a hassle for one. So if they can't even be repaired, because I don't even know if somebody would want to repair that, if it would even be cost effective, or you just buy new ones. So one of the major selling points of the car was all this nice carbon fiber, and all of it was faded, like really bad. Let's see. Now, when I spoke with the guy, he had a few pictures, not many. It wasn't until afterwards he sent me a whole bunch of exterior pictures. Everything looked fine in those pictures. We had like FaceTimed, you know, IG, video chat, whatever. And it was dark in his garage a little bit, but he was showing me the car. He was talking to me about it, but you know, it was just his garage light showing me, lighting up the room. So there's a lot of shadows, and I couldn't really see that well. Connection wasn't that great, but he was talking to me about what the car had, and you know, he's sitting inside the interior, and he's like, "Oh, it's carbon fiber, this and that." But I couldn't see the condition of the carbon fiber. I could just tell from the video that it was carbon fiber, but I couldn't tell that it was faded, like when I got there. Also, it was said in the video that the interior was suede, like all the door panels and, you know, under the steering wheel, on the sides of the, you know, transmission, tunnel, like glove box, all that was suede. But really it was just black or the charcoal tweed. Very good condition tweed, but that's not what I was told it was. Then it was a 2+2, because I was looking for a 2+2. The rear passenger panels on the side, they weren't in the car. I was like, what's up with that? Where are the panels? He's like, they're in the garage. He went and grabbed them. They were tweed, okay. But then the tweed was peeling up on them, like on the sections. But I was told, as one of the selling points was, he spent a lot of money on the interior to be done perfect. Well, the interior wasn't suede, for one. Then these panels are lifting up, and then all the carbon fiber bits that were selling points were all faded. Now, he did have really nice red leather seats, really nice rear passenger seats, red leather. It was very nice looking, all from Interior Innovations. Really good kit, you know, whatever. That was fine, but the rest of it was not great. So then I'm like, all right, fine, let's, you know, I'm kind of disheartened at this point. A lot of things that were not said. So let's go for a test drive. I get in, start the car. Motor sounded okay, didn't sound great. A little bit of hesitation, but that was okay, I guess. You know, it's not, you know, perfect motor, you know, but that you could figure that out, I guess. Passenger window didn't roll down at all, because the first thing I do is, you know, check the windows, turn on the AC, whatever. The AC was blowing cold. Great, you absolutely need that. Driver window went down, no problem. passenger window, didn't roll down. Checked to make sure the window lock wasn't on. It was not on. I clicked it anyway. Tried to move the passenger window. Nothing. Window just stays up. I was like, okay. I adjust the rear mirror. I adjust my side mirror. And then I go to adjust the passenger side mirror. The passenger side mirror is not getting no power. It's not moving. And that glass was like staring down towards the ground. Like if you were parallel parking, you need to look at the ground. So that whole side mirror is useless as for driving. I can't do nothing with that, at least at the moment. I'd have to take it apart, see what's going on with it. Why is it not getting power? Figure that out. What else? Had a very nice Sony double din touchscreen, very similar to the one I have in my black TT. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, maps, all that touchscreen. It's amazing. It makes driving a pleasure compared to a CD player or whatever, or just regular Bluetooth. The touchscreen is really cool feature to have. It was an addition, selling point, whatever. Nice touchscreen surrounded by carbon fiber. The thing didn't power up. Had no power to it. So these are all like electrical issues. Could be very simple, or it could be complicated. Who knows? You could have blown fuses all over the place, or it could just be something didn't get plugged in. But that's the passenger window, passenger side mirror, and the radio. None of it's getting power. Don't know why. All right, cool. Start the test drive. The clutch. He warned me. He was like, "Hey, obviously this wasn't said before I flew down there or up there, but he was like, hey, I just want you to know the clutch pedal. It's a little finicky. Something about the clutch pin. It's either too far forward, too far back, or it's misaligned. This and that." He's like, it's hard to explain, but you'll see when you start driving. And he was right. It was very finicky. It was like, if you push it in too hard, it just stays to the bottom. And then, but the engagement point's all the way at the top. All the way at the top. Like you barely feather it, and it's already engaging. So from the top all the way to the bottom, there was nothing there, and then it was all the way at the top was the engagement point. Very strange. Probably some sort of misalignment, or the engagement pin wasn't set to the proper length. Okay, so that's an issue. One there. Finally get it on the road, start driving. Car has a noticeable exhaust leak. Don't know from where. It sounded like it was coming from the mid. Maybe like the test pipes and whatnot. I couldn't really tell. But there's an exhaust leak. Very audible exhaust leak. Okay. The exhaust was rattling. You could hear a lot of rattling as I was backing out of the driveway. From where? I don't know. It sounded like the rears. Couldn't really tell. What else? Get up to speed on the Z. And what I mean get up to speed, we're going like 20, 25. These are New York street blocks, very bumpy, a lot of potholes. You can't really get up to speed around this area. But I'm driving, first gear, I go off, I go into second gear, start giving it some gas, clutch is slipping. Okay, so now, it's a clutch job. Why is it slipping? Is it transmission or is it the clutch? I'm thinking it's the clutch in my head, first thing. And he's like, oh, it's the clutch pedal, the engagement of the clutch pedal. He's like, just the weight of your foot at the very top, you're still engaging the clutch. I'm like, okay, that's on me because the clutch pedal's misaligned, whatever. I'm still driving. Now, after every shift of after I do a shift and I release the clutch, I take my whole foot off the clutch. So there's no weight on the clutch for me to accidentally be engaging it. So I would shift into second, take my entire foot off the clutch, give it gas, clutch is slipping. All right. So that's, in my head, that's a done deal. That's a clutch job right there. And then last, the power steering was leaking and or going out, or both. You couldn't really tell. The power steering was very loud as soon as you start moving it, which to me indicates it's low on fluid. He topped it off beforehand because he knew this was an issue. And yeah, so there's that. Now this, some of you could watch this video and be like, hey, that's like nothing. There's not, that's like a couple of little things here and there. It's all fixable, you know. Get the people to fix the paint, get other carbon fiber parts, and a clutch job, and then figure out the electrical issues and go from there. Some people will be like, yeah, that's not bad. The problem was, for the price he was asking for this NAZ, this car needed to be immaculate. It needed to be perfect. His price on the NA was so high that it should literally have 0 issues. Like, you could buy a TT with these prices, with the price he was asking. You could buy a twin turbo. Now, would I rather a twin turbo with a whole bunch of problems, or an NA in immaculate condition and body with some nice goodies, where if I wanted to, I could swap whatever motor I wanted in there later on, which was kind of where I was headed. I wanted an immaculate body, good working Z, where down the road, if I wanted to, I could swap something into it. So I was like, well, he's got a high price because it's a French paint job. He's got nice things to it. Let's go check it out. But with all the issues it was having, I wasn't gonna buy it. No. And I lost out on a lot of money just going up there. The plane tickets were not cheap. And then I had to buy, unexpectedly buy plane tickets back because I thought I was driving back. So it was just a giant loss of money, loss of time, and I had nothing to show for it. So that's why I didn't get that Z. I told him, I was like, not buying it. He was like, why? Told him. And I was like, you're going to have a hard time selling it at this price with these issues. And he was like, well, if you're not buying it, I'm probably going to fix the issues and then keep it for myself. And I was like, that's cool, man. You'll probably be very happy with it once you fix all these little issues. But for me, wasn't the right deal for me, so I walked away from it. It sucked walking away from it. I thought I was going to be, going up there. I was like, in my head, happiest dude, about to have this amazing looking Z for, a fair price for what it had. It feels immaculate. But it didn't turn out that way, so. Still in the hunt. Still looking for another Z to get. The market right now is crazy. Super crazy. People are wanting like 9-10K for NAs that are not in great condition. They're just like regular ass NAs, and they're wanting like 10K. Like, it's very strange. Back in the day, 10K would get you a decent TT. Now the TTs, poor condition TTs, people are wanting like 15K. Like, it's wild out there. So still in the hunt, still looking for a Z32, preferably a 2+2. My dream right now is to find a good body, good condition, no mechanical issue, 2+2 twin turbo that's left-hand drive, not right-hand drive. But I know the chances of finding that is like 0. So I am considering, 2-seater twin turbos, 2-seater NAs, other swaps. It's all depending on the price they're asking and the condition of the car. So if you're watching this and you know someone's selling a Z and they're not being super obnoxious, like super weird about it, like, oh, I have a NA with 180,000 miles, I want 10 grand for it, don't even bother sending me that. But if if you know someone, or if you yourself is selling a Z for a good price, and you know it's a good price, and you know the condition, and the car's running, that's another thing. I've been getting a lot of messages of great Zs, but they're not running. They're like close to running, but not running. Well, the Blue Z was my daily. You know, I take it to work. So I lost my work vehicle. I need another work vehicle. People are like, and some people might be like, well, the Z doesn't get good mileage, but I drive like 4 or 5 miles to work, and then I drive 4 or 5 miles back. It's not a big deal. I want to drive those 10 miles a day in a Z. That's just me, you know. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm looking for a daily. So it needs to be like a running, working Z. But yeah, I'm as sorry as you guys are feeling on why this didn't pan out. I was really hoping to bring another Z to the channel, bring another Z home, start working on it and all that. But still looking. I'll find something soon, hopefully, and you know, we'll continue the build. It's gonna be super sick. There's been a couple of Z's out there that look similar to the vision I had for my daily, and I can tell you it's going to be amazing once it's done. So I'm even looking at buying like a super not great looking Z, but the motor's fine and it drives fine, and then with the money I save, because it's obviously should be priced accordingly to the condition of the exterior, I could just do whatever I want, you know. But we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.